everybody, welcome back to the lab. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be the start of our handwriting series. So we're going to start off with the letter A. Now the way that I teach handwriting, it might be a little bit different, something you've seen before, or if you have seen it taught this way, then that is fantastic. We're going to learn our handwriting in a multisensory way. It sounds quite complicated, but it's not. All it means is using the senses. So rather than me sit and talk about it, I'm actually going to show you. Watch it first and then encourage your little person to follow along. Okay, see you in a moment. So this is a sheet that I'll be using in all of our handwriting and spelling lessons. Now you heard me use that word multisensory, and all it means when we're doing our writing is that we're going to look at what we're writing, we're going to feel what we're writing as we're writing it, and we're going to hear what we are writing, because a little bit later on I'm going to be getting your young person to say the letter name and the letter sound. But to start with, we need to learn the shape of the letter. And this is what we're going to do. So to learn the shape of the letter, what we're going to do is we're going to trace it, first of all. Then once it's been traced, we're going to copy it. We're then going to cover these two attempts up and write it from memory. And then your little person is going to have a go at closing their eyes and writing that letter. And this will be the same as well when we move on to spelling words. Why do we do this? Well, we all learn in different ways. Some people learn in visual ways, some people learn better by hearing things, and some people learn better by actually seeing it. So what we're doing by learning to write our letters and our words in this way is we're improving our chances of remembering them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a go at using this to write the letter A. Now please don't worry if you haven't got this. This is available to buy from my PayHip store, and I'll put the link below. It's a printable document, so you can print off as many copies as you want. But if you don't want to buy this, that is fine. You can just use some plain paper, and then as you'll see later, you can use some lined paper. Okay, let's have a go at writing the letter A. And there you go, as if by magic, there it is, it's appeared. So just before we get started, it's important to point out that in this video we're going to be learning to write the letter A in cursive. And all that means is that we're writing it with a few extra flicks on there so that we can join it up. Now, different schools learn handwriting in different ways. So if your child is learning to write in print, as in not joined up, then just go over to my other video now and have a look at that one. I'm always going to record both versions, and I'll create a playlist for each so that you can find the ones you need quite easily. Right, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to trace it. So we start near the bottom, go up and round, down and flick. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to copy it. So up and around, and go back up, down and flick. You don't have to do this just once like I'm doing in these videos. You can do it a few times. So if your little person needs a bit more practice, just get them to have another go. The next thing we're going to do is have a go at writing it from memory. So cover it up, no peeking. See if your little person can write it. Finally, put your pen or your pencil in the start position. Close your eyes and have a go at writing it. That one's not too bad. I'm quite impressed with that one. Right. Do this routine as many times as you need to for your child to feel confident in writing that letter A. It may be that they need to trace it quite a lot to practice it. It may be that they need to copy it a lot of times. That is fine, just go at their own pace. It's much better that they start to feel confident and get it right than it is to race through things. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to shuffle this page up a little bit. And what you can see here is these lines look a bit strange because part of them is shaded. So these are not two separate lines. What I've done is I've made the lines quite big and then I've shaded half of it. The reason that I've done that is because when we write some letters, some of them go up into the upper zone, so they reach up to the top. Some of them just stay within the middle zone, so they reach halfway between the lines. So I've tried to make it really easy to see the different zones, and that's what we call them. We call them letter zones. So we have the middle zone, which is halfway between the two lines, the upper zone, which is when it reaches up to the top of the line, and then we also have the lower zone, and that is when they dip below the lines. Okay, so the letter A is a middle zone letter. So what we're going to do, because we've just been practicing it on here and we haven't been practicing it on lines, we're going to have a go and see how you get on with writing it on a line. So again, it might be that you want to draw it on the line and get your child to trace it. That's fine, just do whatever they need. Just to show you, I'm going to write it so it stays within that middle zone. So we start on the bottom line, go up and around, and go back up, down and flick. Up and around and up, down and flick. Up and around and up, down and flick. If your little person finds it difficult to form letters, then what I would recommend you do, rather than getting them to write in a pencil, get them to write in a pen. It's much smoother and less scratchy on the paper, and you might find that they find it easier. So that's a little tip for you. Right, so we've had a go at writing the letter A on a line. Now what we're going to do is go back to that multisensory way of writing things. And this time when they write it, they are going to say the letter sound and the letter name. Why do we do this? Well, it's a good way for children to learn that the sound and the name link to this symbol. So let's have a go. Again, get them to copy it or trace it if they need to. So we're going to do A is A. 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 Just get them to carry on doing that to the end of the line. if they're feeling really clever, they might want to pop the pen in the start place, close their eyes, try to write it while saying A is A, and then have a look to see how they've done. I don't think I've done too badly with that one, do you? Then, another top tip, when they've written it, get them to have a look through them and decide which one they think looks the best. This is their chance to be the teacher. So which do they think looks the best out of all of the ones they've done? I'm going to look through mine. I think this one looks the best. So I'm going to give it a little tick. So there you go. That is how we write the letter A in cursive using multisensory techniques. Like I said before, don't rush this. Give your little person as much time as they need to practice this, and they will become a much more confident writer. And also, don't forget to let them use a pen if they're finding it a bit tricky using a pencil. Thanks for joining me today in the lab, and I will see you very soon.